actually live.
Let
Oh
me
boy.
refresh.
Welcome to episode 4 of Avatar Legends.
Four?
It's
Yes, it's
4.
4.
It's
It's
4. Actually 4. And it's
Actually
properly
four.
labeled at 4 with no errors
Mm-hmm.
at all.
And there never were any errors.
Nope.
I have already
Not that
played
you
a
can prove.
role-playing game today.
There
So
are
I
no
am
errors in
mildly
bossings.
distracted. Yep.
So well, now that we've got our table talk out of the way
our
before we
rants
went
out of the
live,
way. Yeah, let's just jump into things.
who wants to recap for a +1 forward?
Wait, how far? Just the last episode, or from the start till now?
Whatever you want to do.
We're about to take a
After
nap.
last
That's where we
episode?
left off. Nap
Um,
time.
So last episode, we wanted to go talk to Q's dad, who is the king of this little area, but the Fire Nation was like, "Hey, we want to talk to that guy because his daughter escaped." So we tried to sneak in, went horribly wrong. We then passed ourselves off as fan girls and boys of
Fans? I think
the
fans.
fans,
Evil NPC groupies.
evil NPC groupies for the secret scientist who apparently gets that a lot.
Yep.
Apparently used to groupies.
And then due to I can't remember everyone's names. Dama being like, I don't want to listen. The Fire Nation guys were there. I immediately left when you guys snuck in. So Dama was causing like chaos on the outside. So they thought, oh, we're being attacked by the rebels. Then we
That's 'cause
fought.
you were doing a robbery. You were doing a robbery.
We were doing a B&E. We weren't doing any robbing.
All right.
Yeah. So Dama caused some havoc on the outside. We then
Some.
fought the baddies on the inside. Got a little wrecked, but then the main bad guy pieced out like they do in the cartoons. So then we only had to deal with the minor baddie. He then tried to mud bend the whole palace down.
Yeah, he had one move. It was muddy.
Yeah, his move was mud.
Yep.
He was a
I
politician. I mean, he slings
He's a-
mud. It was a thing.
I saved the palace. I know Q got flipped on her track. What's
On
it
her
called?
balance track.
Her
Yeah,
balance track.
Yep. And then I
Basically
decided
gave the middle finger.
I went up on stage in the middle of like the yearly big celebration and was like, "Here's what's happening. Screw the Fire Nation. They're awful." And then ran away and jumped down into the river to get away from the guards chasing me.
And I think Aeon lost the suit in the mudslide, so now we're just picking up pieces of the suit.
Something like that, yep.
Yeah, recovering it.
And I think Dama got to have a nice chat conversation with the Fire Nation lieutenant that's after us.
Oh yeah. I talked to the
yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah, Honto's lieutenant, Lieutenant Kai.
Yeah.
His first name Agni?
No, but I'm sure he's heard that joke before.
Yeah. I think we talked, and I don't think I jumped off a cliff to get away, but I was
You
considering
considered
it.
it, yeah.
I think you did consider it, yeah. You just lost him in the crowd.
Yeah, and a Scooby-Doo chase scene with a lot of
Mhm.
Yeah.
costume
It
changes.
was more effective than jumping off a cliff, but less dramatic than jumping off a cliff.
So yeah, that's basically what happened. So Duo Fei is in a state of chaos for a bit. You guys are like taken to probably Quiwa's aunt's house, Min,
Yeah.
since the palace is kind of wrecked. Or manor house, I should say. It's not technically a palace. And yeah, you basically put in a room and the officials around town are like, we'll call on you to figure out what's going on. They go out and like put out all the fires and settle everyone down. The Fire Nation has been ejected from Duo Fei for the moment.
I was about to say that's not gonna last long.
Yeah, and you are each brought in like one by one to speak to representatives of Duofe about what went on. My only questions: how truthful are each of you with these people?
Depends on who they are, I guess.
You'd
Like-
probably be talking to your father.
Okay.
Now we can zoom in on that conversation if we want to. I feel it's warranted, but
So I think with the weird mood she's in and having not spoken to her father yet, she understands. I don't think we need to zoom in on it. She is honest, but standoffish.
okay, fair enough. Now, during that conversation, I'm sure you want some information from your father, but he's holding everything back. Like he's not admitting to anything. He doesn't tell you like whether or not he knew where you were. Like
I
he's very
don't
reserved.
think I'm asking him. Actually,
Good to know that you don't know.
Mhm.
I will
Go ahead.
probably be very honest from my very particular point of view.
Okay.
Okay.
And the one bit of information that I'd probably ask or want to know is where are they keeping not Honto, but the other second command guy.
Mudman.
Yeah, him.
Tianlo, he's receiving medical attention at the moment. It's touch and go.
Didn't someone kick him in the head?
Oh, I mean, a building fell on him.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was.
I saved most of the building, but he mudded a lot of it.
Yeah.
Who would I be talking to?
Probably Min.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he tells her everything because it was her idea for him to trust, QN, and then he went, "This is my fault, but also your fault for telling me to trust her," because he's still angry.
All right. Oh, and you got your opening move there, Bao.
Oh yes,
You
thank
got to
you.
take care of.
I always forget.
Dama, what is your?
Oh, I don't go
What
to
is the
meeting.
tenor of your? Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't go. I am asked to go to a meeting. I don't go.
Doesn't go.
I'm in the park or something, feeding the turtle ducks.
Um,
And if someone wants to come find me in the park, I'll make half-ass answers. Like I'm not gonna lie about it, but I just don't go to the meeting. It doesn't
Okay.
seem interesting or relevant.
Yeah, it's. I think it's one of those things where like they send a guard to come find you, and you're like, fine, I'll go, and then halfway there they look back and you're gone again.
Yeah,
um,
I just don't care about showing up to that meeting. It's not important.
okay, Spence, I have questions to ask you for this real quick. I think I know two of them will be yeses, but do you believe your ward listens to you more often than not? Are we there yet or no?
Not right
Okay.
now. I'm in a mood.
Yeah. Have you recently protected them or helped them with a problem?
Yes.
Is there an immediate threat to your ward that you're aware of? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what's the
So
immediate
just
threat?
the Fire Nation.
Okay, I don't know
Oh,
how
I was
immediate
just
that
say
counter
yourself.
is.
We know that you went and stood up in front of a bunch of people and said things.
You would have heard about it pretty soon after.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
but the town's talking about it, I think.
Oh.
So the general gist you get after talking to all these people is that there's no choice anymore. The Fire Nation's going to come back. That's a given, and
Mhm.
the decision on what side to be on has been made by default.
Yeah. That's the danger.
So most of what you see is people running around trying to build up defenses, things like that. There is ample opportunity here to train up with certain people because obviously all the earthbenders are out and practicing and getting better,
Yeah.
as well as anyone else that can help defend the town.
I want to go grifting.
You want to go grifting?
Yeah. I want to set up like a soup / street dice game cart and park it around where they're building all of the barricades and stuff. and I want to start. I want to scam soldiers and also gather information so I can figure out what's happening. The practical
Okay.
application.
That's
But
fair. All right.
for the
So
fun, Dava, we're on break from the main storyline adventure this week. We're going grifting. We are going to be scamming soldiers and snuffing out Fire Nation spies by, like, putting rocks in their soup or something. I'm not 100% how the math works. But yeah,
You
I want
replace
to be
their
able to
peas
sit.
with pebbles.
Yeah, the goal is to turn away Fire Nation spies and make a small pile of money on the side.
okay, that's fair. I mean, it sounds like you're nebulously tricking a bunch of people.
Yes,
Um,
lots of tricking.
so yeah, let's see the trick roll and see how that goes for you.
Because I don't have I don't have a Taisho master in which I can learn new moves or anything.
Well, I mean, you haven't looked.
I haven't, and I don't plan on it.
Anyone here wouldn't be as good as you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be the best. There is no need for me to
This
learn
no-name
more.
Berg doesn't have any talent.
Well, it's less about other people not having the talent. It's just that I am totally bought into the fact I am destined to be the best Paisho player. So the plan is to continue walking the path. Like, just continue playing Paisho, and eventually I will make it to the top. Just agree
enough.
with my destiny. Trick? Yes. Yeah, and I'm an outlaw, so I have outlaw skills. I do a bad job at grifting.
Yeah. So the number one downside is you're not going to make any money. Whatever horrible nonsense you're trying to sell
Spent more
people
money
is
on noodles. I spent more money on noodles than I make.
yeah. No one's eating the burnt udon.
I don't know how to cook. That's not a financial set.
Did you even manage that?
But I think overall the issue is that there is now a spy. I wasn't planning on a spy, but failure means there is a spy in the meta narrative.
Yep, I just missed them. They are somewhere in the city, spying.
Yep.
You're welcome. Now we have complication.
The GM will remember this.
That pops up in the top left corner.
Yep.
So yeah, while Dama's out not having any luck selling rock soup to spies, what are the rest of you up to?
I think I'm learning earth armor from Ant
Min?
Min. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we get to use the training move then if you're gonna have a training montage with Auntie Min.
I'd like to think Earth Armor training involves her shoving you against larger and larger sheets of earth that you have to either hole in the wall yourself through or wrap around yourself or go face first into rock. But they just keep getting progressively thicker.
I think
a
it's
lot
that,
of slapstick of you getting smashed into a wall is really what I'm looking for in this.
It's that plus add crystals every so often.
Sorry, crystal wall slapstick, where you're smashed into wall after wall after wall of crystal until you figure it out.
And then I take a bite out of it out of anger because they're like the snack crystals.
All right. So with the training move, when you spend time with a teacher learning and training in a new technique, you get modifiers for the roll. Is your balance in line with your center, or are you free of conditions? If yes, take +1.
Have we taken time to those?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Yep.
So does then our balance reset to the center immediately, and conditions do stay though?
Everything.
I think everything resets.
Everything resets. Yeah, when you have enough time to rest and work through your traumas.
Okay.
Okay. So then, yes.
Okay, so that's +1. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? What is your background?
My backgrounds are military and collector.
Military collector. I don't think so.
Okay.
Does your teacher agree with your reasons for training and learning? If no, take a -1. So she's ready and willing to teach you. She agrees that you need to be able to protect yourself to protect other people.
Mhm.
Is the technique easy to grasp based on your current training experience and skills? If no, take -1.
Yeah, I have the Earth Gauntlet. It's just sort of extending that to be
Okay.
armor.
Okay, so you're rolling at a +1. On a hit, you learn the new technique and your master shifts your balance. So let's see what happens.
Hold on. I was trying to find where you were reading that from.
Oh, here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So +1. Okay, so it's 2d6 +1.
Mhm.
9.
9. On a 7 to 9, it either takes more time than normal or you must mark 2 conditions.
What does take more time than normal mean in this instance?
And in this instance, it'll mean that you will not have learned it by the time the Fire Nation shows up.
Ooh, I'll take conditions. I am angry again.
This isn't supposed to be so hard.
Let's go with insecure, even though I don't remember what that one, how to clear that one.
Do
I
something
love
without
the
holding your
conditions
game.
because they make you do something goofy. Which one's
Remember, if you shift double click on the condition window, it'll
Oh,
open the
shift double
thing for you.
click. Thank you. Okay. Yep, I will take insecure and angry.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right, so yeah, mark that tech. The rock armor technique is learned,
Okay. Learned. Got it.
and she will set a mastery condition for you.
Oh, you had those for the other ones that we had too, right?
Yep, they're on your sheet somewhere, probably in the bio and info.
Yeah. I just need to fight someone creatively, use their strength against them, which is theoretical and complicated.
Now, here's a question. Oh, it wasn't single combat. Never mind. Because mine is defeat a Fire Nation officer in single combat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Also,
think
you fought an officer?
not
Didn't,
in single combat.
yeah, and didn't defeat a Fire Nation officer at all.
Mhm.
I guess Hanto's technically an officer.
He is,
But I
but
didn't defeat
he's
him.
real hard to defeat, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Earth Guy, Mud Boy, would not have been an officer.
No.
No,
Correct.
probably the second in command that might have qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lieutenant's an office.
Like, that's an officer.
Exactly.
So Min's principle being freedom. Oh boy. I think the mastery condition, and she's going to be shifting your balance towards self-reliance. I believe that's the other side of yours, right? Other than trust.
Self-reliance is only I can protect them. Trust is they can protect themselves.
Okay. Then she'll push it towards trust.
Okay.
And the mastery condition is, you're learning to protect yourself so you can protect others better. But there are lessons you can learn in defeat about how other people operate and being able to, anticipate their movements. I think she's going to tell you to hang back and let those you would normally protect go at it themselves. So basically, the mastery condition here is only evade and observe for an entire encounter.
Brutal.
That is brutal.
Yeah, mastery conditions are the book especially explicitly calls them out as be like, use these to change the play style of the player. If they're always doing this one thing, make the mastery condition make them not do it. So
Yep.
it's the one where I'm just gonna be like, you're on your own, guys. I'm not punching. I'm not defended. Just sit there with my arms crossed.
Make like an airbender.
Okay, yeah, that's in my bio and info, which is now just, I guess, my mastery info.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that takes a little time. We get the whole training with Min montage, and she takes you aside and like has tea with you and discusses these things. And
A lot of rock throwing at your face.
Mm-hmm. Typical Earthbender stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Standard Earthbender training.
Mhm.
Usually involves rocks going towards you or you going towards rocks in some degree or another.
May or may not be deflecting them. It just sort of depends.
It depends on what you're doing that day.
Yeah, when the rest of you see Bao, there are many bruises.
I'm not. Listen, in prison, Bao lost some of his dad bod, so he doesn't have his belly to deflect boulders.
Oh yeah,
anymore.
no padding anymore.
Yeah.
All right, Aeon, Quiva, what are you two up to?
Sure. I'm happy to find a teacher to learn a thingamajigger.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping to kind of take whatever they were smoke bombs that they were being used in the previous fight,
Mhm.
correct?
Yep.
I'm hoping to tinker with those, take them apart a little bit, try and figure out, okay, how does this work? And then repurpose them into getting blinded by science because it is cool. I don't know if the teacher would come into the how do we make these things work, or more actively, how would we use these things in combat? So, and we have no teachers around that I know of. So,
right. So we do have the custom move that I came up with for finding a teacher. If you just want to roll for it,
I'm happy with that.
So basically, this will give us a path toward a teacher, and I think it's probably likely going to end up being someone to help you reverse engineer this thing. Like, you saw them in action, you probably have the casings for them, so you just need someone to bounce ideas off of that knows about these types of things.
What the? Hey, apparently pressing enter turns off my camera. Let's try that instead.
Okay.
Okay, so first is just roll a d2. 1d2. Probably assigning those two things before rolling would have been a good idea, but assuming that it's in order, let's say that one
It's the one in black.
Yeah. Using character sheet.
So self-center. Or sorry, where are you?
Action, it looks like.
No, it'd be the black one, so forgiveness. Or did I switch those on the tabletop?
On the tabletop, I see forgiveness in black.
Yeah, same.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
Oh, good. Forgiveness. That's exactly what you want me to learn. And then rolling using my balance, which did just reset.
Mhm.
2d6. Aren't you lucky I'm not right at the edge of my track? 7.
So the teacher you find will be neutral. They may agree to take you on at a cost. So I think who you find is probably someone like an artillerist or someone that's helping set up the defenses and makes like crossbows and things of that nature. Someone with some mechanical knowledge. The issue you're having is let's call this person. Let me grab a name. Feyan.
So, Arbalist Feyan. That's specifically making a crossbow.
Oh, they know how to tinker, but that's what they've been tasked with, is like making mechanical weapons for the non-benders and the guards.
Okay.
The issue you're having with Feyon is she really doesn't want to be doing this. Like, she is a conscientious objector when it comes to violence. Doesn't believe that force should be used in places like this. Like, diplomacy is the way forward. But she's sort of been press ganged into, helping out the defense because, if she doesn't, the town's going to be a smoldering crater.
Sounds familiar.
I like her. Anyhow. I mean, I don't know how much role player we're needing to get into this to convince her, but I think my argument is something along the lines of, this is something that's not going to hurt anyone. It's just going to stop so that they can't do anything, and it's a way to cease hostilities and get the diplomacy to have a chance at working.
That's fair. I want to say she's going to ask you for a favor. Now, it's not a condition of the training, but like she'll help you with this thing, but she wants you to make sure to do something in the future.
One favor.
Yep, I'm just trying to think of what that would be.
Could be get her out of town.
Yeah, since I can't point to where we're going to be in the future, and I don't want to step on someone else's toes. Yeah, I think it's like she's done here. Like, once she's done, she needs an escort out.
Okay, so get her out of town. Yeah, spelling that name. I am the worst offender at this, but still. Okay, so we have the teacher. Do I actually do? Then I guess we need to roll for actually learning the move.
Yep. Yeah, you roll into the training move. So you're free of conditions currently, right?
Yep.
That's a +1. What is your background?
Wilderness and apprentice.
Okay, I'll say +1 there because you don't become a mechanical person without apprenticing with someone that knows how to do these things.
Sweet.
So you're at +2.
We've already established the spirits can grant a destiny upon you in this world. The machine spirit could have inhabited this teacher.
We already made our sacred unguents joke like 2 sessions ago, so I don't know how much we can keep that going.
Does your teacher agree with your reasons for training and learning? Yes, so no -1 there. Is the technique easy to grasp based on your current training experience and skills?
Probably reasonably so, though I don't have any good reason besides from
The only reason I say no. Yeah,
Okay.
the only reason I would say no on it is because there's a history of Aeon just screwing with things and seeing how they work, not knowing how they work.
That's fair. All
right, so that'll take you down to a +1.
Sure. And 8.
Okay, so yeah, it either takes more time than normal or 2 conditions. Your choice.
I will let this take more time than normal.
Okay.
So basically, it's not going to happen until essentially at least next session or the end of whatever conflict comes.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever is later.
Okay. And I think I mentioned an archer before. I don't think we see him immediately. I think at first I'll still roll a move, but I do like the idea of the teacher approaching me, maybe because I asked my aunt to find him and she told him to find me. But I think at first we see Quiwa is furiously training by herself. And I think we see her trying to practice moving while shooting and sort of short range mobile archery. She's not using her normal bow. I think she's switched to a short, like more of a short bow for now. And she's trying to like practice rolling and then coming up from the roll with an arrow and shooting that and things like that. She's trying to practice being more than just a like long distance turret.
Okay.
She's not doing that well. She hasn't tried a lot of this before. But I think she looks very intense, and I think at some point that her would-be teacher definitely sees her lose her temper completely after failing a shot. She just like swears and like throws her bow after her arrow that went like wide, and then yeah, she is
Yeah.
in a mood, as I said.
Yeah, I think the bow sort of clatters to the ground and it comes to rest right in front of these like moccasined feet, and we pan up and we see like a 4 foot tall, very old man, just squat and bent over, just and he
Like
looks up.
he's the kind of short where it's like he didn't used to be that short, but age has shortened him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just yeah.
But like cartoonishly.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. He was 6'7" in his
Yeah.
youth.
And he like tuts at you a little bit and picks up the bow and like dusts it off, like pulls out a rag and like shines up the bow a little bit. And yeah, I think he looks at you and says, "You shouldn't treat your tools like this."
She looks at him as she says nothing and kind of looks at him sternly, doing her best not to talk back. And her most respectful thing she can say right now is nothing. So she does. I think after.
I was gonna say if you don't respond to him, I think he takes the bow and like smacks your knuckles with the end of it.
Yeah.
He's like,
"Ow!
Listen to me when I'm talking to you, girl. Respect your elders."
I don't think she's met him before. No, she's seen statues. She knows of this guy from when he was in his prime. Like she saw drawings of this like enormous like giant of an archer. She's like, I don't know who you are, but give me my bow back. And she
What,
like
you want
just
this? Like he says, you want this bow? You don't even know how to use this bow. And he spins around, and you had been firing at like straw men with cabbages for heads. And there's like some shredded cabbage all over the ground here. And he just lets off 3 arrows at once and just splits 3 cabbages. Like, you want to know how to use this thing? Pay attention.
after recovering from her shock, she still simmering with a bit of anger. She says, "I'm trying, master. I've had a lot going on lately."
Master, I kind of like that.
I think she I guess is trying to use it as a term of respect, not like my personal master, but yeah.
Well, young lady, your aunt says that you're primed to move on to the next level. I don't tend to agree, but I'd do anything for Min. Let me see what you got. And he like hands you the bow back.
Yeah. This I think you see when she takes the bow, there's this like intense hunger in her eyes to win this test. And she nods, and then she is gonna try to go all out with showing him every trick in her book.
All right. Yeah. Rely on your skills and training, sounds like.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of me desperately wants this to fail.
I
too.
wonder. Let me pull out Quiwa's stuff. Reliance skills and training is focus, I assume.
Focus.
That is an 8.
So yeah, you do well. You know you could have done better.
Yeah.
Right. There are some shots that miss. You like just nick a couple of the cabbages.
Yeah. She you see her close her eyes in frustration once or twice.
You keep overdrawing the bow. Like
Mhm.
you're used to you're used to a longbow. So
That's
you keep overdrawing
almost
the short
definitely
bow.
what it is.
It's too light for you. You have spent years practicing with this like massive arbalist of a weapon, and now it's like, oh, I don't need to
Yeah.
put my whole back into it.
There's more than that. I think in addition to that, I'm trying to fire faster than I was as well.
Yeah.
And so I have less time to aim, so I'm
Just
less
need to
accurate.
show off.
It's not
So
just that. It's also like I'm trying to be able to use my archery in closer combat if I need to.
Yeah. This man, his name is Jeezy, by the way.
Okay.
Master Jeezy.
Yeah, every time you miss a shot, he's got this little like 1.5 foot tall, 2 foot cane, and every time you miss a shot, he just slams it onto your foot, like the bottom of the cane.
Perfect.
And this is Avatar. They all wear like cloth shoes all the time.
Mhm.
Like only the water tribe really wears heavy boots.
Yeah.
So you're wearing like athletic
Slippers?
slippers, basically.
Mm.
Your toes are black and blue after just being smacked by this old man.
Yep.
Yeah, and basically he spends the entire time trying to piss you off even more. Like he does everything possible just to make you the most angry
Perfect.
and off center
The next
that you could
time,
possibly be.
I think like the last time when I'm done and I make my final mistake, as he's about to slam his stick down, I just like I think I'm gonna try and I move my leg and try to kick the stick away from him.
Okay.
Just yeah, Quiwa is very angry right now.
But he's
And
succeeding.
yes, he's very much succeeding in this. And I think she says, "If this is how you teach, what kind of students do you have? No wonder you never taught anyone. You're terrible."
You think it's going to be any better when you're out there amongst the fire and the flying rocks and all you've got is a bow and arrow? You think you're mad now?
Of course I'm mad.
Well, imagine, if you will, doing the same thing under penalty of death if you should fail. Nothing's madder than that. It's crazy out there. Trust me, I've seen it. You must remain calm. Keep your center, no matter what happens.
Quiwa looks away and like I think as she's gathering arrows, she says, "Did you freeze?"
Not in many years. But yes, and people died.
I froze. Yesterday. I assume it. Okay, let's just say during the celebration, I got in a fight. And I froze I just watched the whole time. Barely did anything.
And you feel bad about that?
I think she answers by glaring at him and saying, "My family is many things, but we are not helpless."
Everyone's helpless sometime. Best to get comfortable with that. Now, you know what you did wrong before. Are you going to do it again? Would you like to know how not to do it again?
Yes.
Good. Pick up the bow. We've got work to do.
Okay. She does so. Without complaint.
Yeah. So,
let's roll.
what move are you trying to train here? He knows quite a few. He's very old.
I will come back to me. I'm gonna look, but probably
Okay.
something like how I described. If I can find one that works for like
I mean,
short range archery technique, I'll look at what
Yeah.
that is.
go ahead and roll the training move now.
Okay.
And when you figure out what technique it is, we'll
Okay.
just port it in.
So, my balance in line with my center, and am I free of conditions? So yeah, we just long rested. So yes.
Mhm.
Do me and my teacher share at least one background? My backgrounds are urban and privilege.
Urban, yeah.
Okay. Does your teacher agree with your reasons for training and learning?
Yes.
Okay. Is the technique easy to? That depends on the technique. If not, take -1. I can make the roll now, and we can apply -1 retroactively if it's tougher.
I mean, unless you're taking a rare technique, I'd say it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Then +2. 8.
okay.
All of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark
More time than normal, or 2 conditions.
2 conditions. Quiwa already
Okay.
basically has conditions narratively, so I'm gonna mark them.
It's fair, and he's pissing you off.
He is, yeah. No, he's.
I mean,
it's working, but I'm gonna take angry and insecure, or guilty. Guilty.
yeah. The obvious, at least in my opinion, the obvious choice for what you described is draw close, dash and dodge to close into an opponent of your choice.
At a
Maybe
universal?
No, from weapons.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
I'll
It's
take
from
a
the
look at
weapons
it
category.
on
Yeah,
this
it's an
core book.
attack. Yeah, core book. Yeah, it's a short range technique that's not specific to like any weapon.
Yeah, I don't. None of them, or very few of them, are even in weapons. I think.
I mean, there's fire arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
but that's
lot
not what
more
I'm learning.
I know, yeah, but that's like the only one I could see that's. There's 2 that I can see off the top, or just from like flipping through. Oh, sorry, it's in Wang Shi Tong, not
Okay, I'll take a look
yeah.
at.
Rock smashing
both.
arrows could also be fun if you have to kill Baohu.
I don't think
I got
Babu would
armor.
ever.
That's nice. I can go through it.
It doesn't matter. I got rock arrows now.
Yep.
Just armor yourself so that you are the nightmare and can take out every member of the team.
It's the Batman strategy, right? You design your power set to kill your own team, just in case.
And then that means you can kill everyone else. Unfortunately, we don't have Batman's
Yeah, I think
superpower
I
of being a
probably will go with
gazillionaire.
that.
So
Yeah, that is his main power, having more money
Money.
than God.
We
when
want
really,
money.
I don't know, not as much as Batman. Batman could literally just be like, let's invest in the mental health of Gotham, and then maybe we won't have as much crime.
Yeah,
Except he
this is a
did, but he just
tangent.
managed it really poorly, and it ended up in like a cursed asylum,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, this is a tangent, but very relevant to the immediate conversation. Current DC, the main Justice League is all dead, but like air quotes dead for magic comic book reasons. But instead of being like dead, the main Justice League has been shunted into perfect worlds that they never want to leave.
Oh.
To
So
try to keep them in that
right.
state. And Batman specifically is that everything's kind of a hellscape, but Gotham is some like techno utopia that he's in control of.
huh.
So what we
Well,
described as Batman actually helping is Gotham going isolationist under Wayne Corp control.
I thought Batman's utopia would be his parents never died.
Nope. It's not a utopia, it's a world they don't want to leave. So
Yeah,
it's not
well,
changing their past at all. It's just like how
okay.
they can adjust their future to like be a place where it's like, oh, I've achieved my goal, and it's
An authoritarian nightmare. Awesome.
techno utopia that he's in control of.
Yeah, I think to use the pressure basic. I do like draw close. I think I will do that.
Okay. Range that favors you, mark one.
And that seems like a good bonus technique for an archer, right? Have like
Yeah.
something to get up in there.
Yep. I'm just
And it has
checking
a-
because like some of the I'm leery of Wan Shi Tong stuff because some of them are very overpowered.
Mhm.
So I'm
This one has this one costs fatigue, but it has a cool trap setup, it fits. I really like this technique as far as the list of them goes, because it rides the line of like evade and observe and attack. Because it
Though the favored is quite.
So I mark one
Don't
fatigue
argue
and
against
become
it.
favored, which
Yeah.
and then also if the enemy I'm targeting advances and attacks next exchange, they have to mark one fatigue per technique they use. So it's kind of this in between of
it's control. It's a battlefield control setup.
yeah. Does at
I'm-
1st
I'm-
glance it feels fine to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we can use it, but we may amend it when we see it in action. How's
Yep.
that?
I will add it. And it is of course just learned, right?
Yes, it comes in as learned, so you'll have to roll a 10 and spend a fatigue to make it practiced.
Okay, perfect.
And the mastery condition here,
Oh right.
I need a center, I think. These are hard because they're so subjective, but it's got to be something along the lines of keeping your cool.
I mean, there is one that you could keeping your cool. Okay.
Yeah, like not getting angry in the heat of battle. That's the lesson he's trying to teach you.
It
I
could
mean-
be.
Because getting angry in the heat of battle falls under conditions.
hmm
Or losing your balance.
Yeah, but
or
to a
it could
degree,
be like
part of
Lose your
Avatar
balance
is that you can't
is-
control whether or not you lose your balance entirely. Can you?
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes mastery conditions are purposely lose your balance.
yeah. Purposely lose
So-
your balance, or it could be
What about end of
Defeat an
battle at
enemy
your
without-
center?
or
Again,
defeat
it's
a
really
end the
easy
battle
to
at your
do.
center. I was gonna say defeat an enemy without taking conditions, balance shift, or like what is the third
Anything.
one?
Well, fatigue is one, but adding a battle without taking fatigue is pretty much impossible.
Well, not,
Yeah.
without fatigue inflicted upon you.
It's hard to do because a
Um,
lot of like just the standard strike inflicts fatigue if they
One of those three things.
if
yeah,
it's
and if
meant
they
to
spend
be
more
me-
fatigue, they can make it
yeah,
whatever they want.
but it is about keeping her center.
What if it's something like?
What about without
center
taking
is
condition?
bad.
No, some of the things are any of the enemy techniques going to directly inflict conditions?
The more powerful ones do.
Oh, okay, then
Mhm.
I can't really do
I-
that.
What if it's something like get to the edge of your balance track and then come back from the edge, so you keep calm in that sense?
Nope, I've got it. I think I've got it. You won't be able to clear angry for a certain amount of time. Like
Oh,
you just
so
have to
just
stay
don't-
angry and
don't
learn to
clear
live with it.
angry.
Like deal with
Mhm.
it.
I'm always angry.
So maybe start and end a fight angry. Or, no, not. Well, maybe it's gonna be a while till we have a fight.
It could be like have
fight
X amount of
angry.
exchanges while
To fight
angry.
angry while staying at your center.
Yeah, I like having
Actually, I like that.
So what?
stages while angry.
What is angry actually a negative to?
Angry is a negative to things
Intimidate and
like-
call someone out.
Mm.
Oh no, that's afraid. I'm sorry. Guide and
and
comfort and
comfort, yeah.
assess.
Yeah, and assess is kind of my thing.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be successfully assess a situation while angry.
Oh, I like it.
That's not bad.
Successfully. as in
Successfully
10+.
meaning, yeah, I was gonna ask that.
10 plus.
Okay, with a minus. Oh boy. Okay.
How would you even do that?
Well, I have a plus
You can get
3
help.
to.
Still pretty
You can get
decent.
help. I already have a plus 3 to creativity.
You have a
Okay.
+3 in any stat?
I have a move for my playbook that gave it to me. So
Okay,
yeah.
I was wondering, like,
Mhm.
I thought it was +2. Also, I'm
Well-
just coasting at
The limit
+1.
is +2 unless you
Yeah,
have that
Yeah.
after last session, after my several 6 minus rolls in a row, I decided to go for the +1. To
Yeah,
that
like I
stat.
started with the +3 in focus because my playbook let me do that.
I just took moves to, like, I took a move to make my focus not relevant anymore.
Mhm.
Just not improve it. Just make it not relevant.
Yeah, I don't need to
Me
focus on anything.
So yeah, you'll have to get to practice before you can actually do the mastery condition. But once you're at practice, just assess a situation with a 10 plus, and
Okay.
you will master the technique.
And I guess my
Oh,
mastery condition doesn't matter for a while anyways, so
Oh, we forgot yours, didn't we?
let's
Oh
just
no,
figure it out
it
later
was
because I decided to put it off or I'm not learning it yet. Or it's
fair
going
enough.
to take time, so.
Oh, did you
Perfect.
bomb the training roll? Or not bomb, but like mixed success on the training roll.
hmm
Okay.
So yeah, and that's how learning from teachers works. The last example being the one that they really want you to do, but I had that character in mind, so I had something ready for that. Doing that on the fly is a little rough.
Yeah. You had Hawkeye in your back pocket. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna want to pick up, not right now, but while we're talking about techniques, like one more like advanced defense technique, just so I can have the full round of like an advanced technique for each one.
I mean, pick it up now. Why not? It's
Yeah.
the time for it, for sure.
Sure.
What are you looking for? What kind of technique
I'll-
again?
Suck it up is the technique I was looking at.
I saw that one. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's good, but also it's a very glass cannony move, which
Mhm.
feels on brand.
What is suck
I
it up?
get every time I get hit, I get a bonus technique in the next exchange.
Yeah, it's focus and absorb a blow, readying yourself to act immediately after. For each attack that inflicts fatigue, conditions, or balance shifts on you this exchange, choose one additional technique next exchange,
Wow.
even if you roll a miss on the stance move.
Yeah.
That
So
is impressive.
I just get beat to hell, and then I'm here now. I'm ready for this.
Yep.
You've charged up my
I
batteries.
get one. But basically, I get one shot after the round where I get kicked to hell. I get one shot to win. Otherwise, we're done.
The one thing I would warn about that is you can still, only strike once and then smash once, and it's not like strike 5 times.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't use the same.
Yeah,
technique
each technique can
multiple
only
times.
be used once.
Yeah. It's not
That was
it's a
close
very
to my
balanced. It's a very balanced move. That
Honestly, anyone that's been in a fight and gotten the hell kicked out of them for long enough would know. So it's probably pretty easy to find a teacher for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go to a fight pit and go, hey, you,
Get back,
the
Kelly
loser.
Polar.
yeah. I'm if it's cool, if everyone else is
Yeah, it's
learning stuff,
Mhm.
I do
Yeah.
want to tie it into my stupid soup grift. I want someone to beat. I want my thought is the teacher is not an actual teacher. It's someone that just beats me up doing the soup thing.
I think it's a little of both, right? It's someone that you pissed off while you were doing the soup thing, and they did smack you around a bunch, and then they saw you couldn't take a hit. And they were like, no, this doesn't stand. All right, no. Let's stand up, square your feet, let's go.
They just keep doing it.
The drill sergeant comes
The
and beats
beatings
you up.
continue until you figure it out.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
probably who it is. It's some like mid-ranking guard that's like, no, you need to learn how to take a punch, boy.
Can it just be Kratos? Boy, take a punch.
Boy.
But yeah, I would go ahead and roll the training move. Like we
Alright.
have the master of getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. We have the technology. So I don't think we learned their name. I don't think
It's just
we learned-
sergeant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Sarge.
sergeant or whatever.
Even if they aren't a sergeant, that's what you get to call them.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
everyone
like,
calls them. Like,
there is no. I just don't think there's an introduction. It's just more of I'm stuck in this situation because I tried to scam them, so I can't really leave. And they keep punching me.
I mean, Donna has shown that they can leave any situation, so, but still.
Yeah. I think I'm badly bruised at this point. Make it
Yeah.
running hard. I'm free of conditions technically
Just so far.
so far.
yeah, so far.
That is one. Are they an outlaw?
No.
Okay.
What about your other one?
I don't have another one.
You only chose outlaw?
I only chose outlaw.
Okay.
Is the
He went
technique
double
easy to
outlaw.
grasp? Yes. It is.
It's very
Get
easy to
back
get your
up.
ass kicked.
No nuance. Get back up.
So yeah, you're rolling at a +1.
I like how I posted for Marissa the blinded by science move. It's the training montage is the song "She Blinded Me with Science," and this one is just I get knocked down and I get up again.
It's just tough.
Chumbawamba.
It's just Chumbawamba.
I wish Chumbawamba wasn't a one-hit wonder. They really very much are. I think it's a collective training. I want to roll it. That's a 6.
Ooh,
I don't
on a
learn it.
6.
I just get very badly bruised.
Yeah, so you need another lesson before you can grasp its full use. Your master will tell you what additional task you must undertake to put yourself into the correct state of mind, and then you learn the technique.
Yeah, I think he just says like, "You need another lesson.
You
Come
need to-
back later."
I'm too punch drunk to understand what is happening anymore.
Yeah, so the condition on this is you need to get knocked the fuck out. Like
Excellent. So there will be that condition and then another mastery condition later?
Yes, I don't know it at all. I have not learned
Perfect.
how to take a punch.
No, you're just like, why
Yep.
are you hitting me?
So basically needs to get knocked out of a fight?
yeah, you need
Knocked
to
out, knocked
max your
unconscious.
condition and fatigue.
Ooh, I like that, because that means it also triggers my playbook move.
Does
Excellent.
losing balance count?
No,
No.
because you're still conscious when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But getting taken out of a fight also triggers my destiny. I take a step forward.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, these things happen over the course of several days as other things are going on in Duo Fei. Primarily what's been going on is, as I said before, building barricades, setting up defenses, things like that. The overall feeling is that when the Fire Nation comes, they're going to come heavy. There are ways where you could participate in this if you wish, if you have any ideas. I mean, the floor is pretty much yours. We're sandboxing this one.
There is a spy.
I do.
You don't
have
know that,
something-
but there is a spy.
I don't, you're right. We don't know there's a spy. There might be a spy.
Okay, I definitely have something that might be useful here to start us off with. If you're still feeding turtle ducks or scamming something, Dama, I would love to go and find you and have a bit of a conversation.
Yeah. I'm feeding turtle ducks with a ice pack. Just on a bruised
just
and
peas.
battered face.
All right, so I'm probably, wandering around and looking for you, and I found you, and I just want to ask you, hey, Dama, will you come with me to talk to that advisor guy about the Fire Nation? I kind of wanted somebody's support. We can invite Sato too if you think that's a good idea, but I'm not
Which
sure about.
advisor? Mud?
Yeah, the mud guy.
The mud guy? Why is he
TMO.
important? I wasn't here for that one.
Oh, well, he was the advisor, definitely not Grand Vizier to Quiwa's dad, and he was talking with Honto some, and he seemed to have some ties to the Fire Nation. Last I heard he was getting some care, and I figured we should check up on him.
So, like, break into a hospital?
I don't see any reason why we need to break in. I mean, I just wanted to talk to him about what the Fire Nation needs to know to actually get into power here, and just to stabilize things. And I wanted to know how I could help with that.
Do you want to know how to let the Fire Nation in?
Yeah,
You want to let them in?
I
Everyone seems to be pointing in the other direction. We're all about. You see, I gesture to the spike and mud constructions going up behind us. Everyone's against that.
I know everybody's against that, but listen, I'm scared. Pow almost killed someone, and I don't know if this is nothing for earthbenders, but he buried them under the earth while they were still alive, nearly. And I lost it, and I just kept attacking over and over and over again, and I didn't want to lose you guys, and I'm scared that I was wrong. I'm scared that the Fire Nation is evil, and that everything I thought is wrong, and that my town is wrong for supporting them, and that all Fire Nation people are secretly bad, and just like you guys have been saying,
Not Fire
and so
Nation
I wanted to.
people. Let's rate it back.
Let's calm the flames a bit.
It's not the Fire Nation.
It's either
people.
100% one way or 100% the other way.
Idealist, that's how it works.
It's
Not all Fire Nation.
It's not Fire Nation people that are bad. It is the state of the Fire Nation that is bad. They're different. Because my dad sold soup.
Your dad
he had a
sold soup.
Yeah, he had a shop. He had a big pot, and most of the time he was just fire blasting his soup pot to heat it up. Are those the acts of an evil man? A hot bowl of soup
Depends if anyone else
on
is
a
in the soup.
cold Fire Nation mountain village? No.
Is it too hot though? Will it burn them? That's the question.
I mean, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
But the Fire Nation soldiers that came through and took out my father's soup stand for the need for rations for the troops, they might be evil.
They needed the soup. It was
Do
something.
you understand
that
how
was-
expensive those pots were? Like that, our whole family was built around this soup stand.
I'm sorry. What happened to your family?
And we lived there.
What? Pardon?
We lived in the Fire Nation, and then they
yes.
took the Fire Nation citizen soup away. Everyone had to have chilled nonsense
The soup
all
is a
winter
metaphor.
that year.
It's also very
No,
literal,
they
but
took
it's
away
also
your
a metaphor.
raging fire.
It's just also a metaphor in addition to being literal.
The first victims of this crusade were the citizens of the Fire Nation who just wanted to play music, have hot soup, and spicy plum wine. The layabouts were the first that were hurt in this war. So, if you want to talk to him, sure. But we're not letting them in.
And the military-industrial complex is not kind to layabouts.
It's a real problem.
Oh, right. I guess that'll work. I'll consider what you've said there, but okay.
How do I shift your balance from less crazed?
I mean, officially I'm at center, but I'm not very good at playing with what officially I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do determination.
Well, the two sides are forgiveness and action. What is the actual move? Shift your balance?
No, but we can go talk to the person. I just needed to have a pedantic argument.
Fair enough. I just wanted to lose it.
And I could inject backstory.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to
Backstory.
turn that conversation into a mechanic, you could be calling out Aeon to action rather than forgiveness.
Oh, I'd rather be calling out forgiveness.
The way I've been interpreting it mostly, forgiveness is the Fire Nation's okay. We should forgive them. Whereas action, I tend to interpret as, yeah, we're not letting whatever wrongs are happening stand. We're doing something against this.
I'm just trying to add more nuance. I'm trying to inject more nuance into that very black and white opinion of the Fire Nation. Forgive the people, not the state.
Okay, do we want to call someone
Yeah,
out?
You
it's
already
up to you.
know.
It's up to you. I was just tossing it out there.
What's the move for that? Because moves are all.
You shift your balance away from center, then name and roll with their principle. On a hit, they're called to act as you say. They must either do it or mark a condition. So it's more about like twisting their arm to get them to do a thing.
Oh, I'm not. All right, we don't need to roll that. I'm not trying to twist your arm to do anything. I'm
Okay.
just trying
I'm
to
fine with
make you think about your position a little bit more.
No, my position is if we just put the Fire Nation in charge, they'll prove all of this worry and suspicion wrong, and I won't have to be worried anymore, and it'll all be stable and it'll be fine, okay?
This just sounds like
Yeah.
you need anxiety treatment rather than a big
I think
adventurous
Aeon just needs some
mission with
Xanax. I
brothers.
think that's all Aeon needs.
Alright, let's go talk to Earth Prisoner.
And now
How
we
do
Um,
they keep earthbending prisoners? You can't keep them in a hole.
You go to a wood hole.
A wooden hole?
I mean,
in
we've
a
got
wooden cage suspended off the cliff.
We have canonically seen timber frame
prison cells for
prisons.
sure.
We have.
Oh, you can sweat bend your way out of them, though.
But with metal bending
Good
not
thing he's
having
not a
even been
sweat
discovered yet, it could just be in metal. Honestly, that's
Yep.
probably easier.
Oh, it could be
Oh,
metal.
yeah,
That's
that
probably
makes
better.
perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, and it being
Actually in prison or
well, he's currently under guard. Yeah, I don't think they think he's much of a threat. I mean, he got his ass kicked pretty good. So I think he's like under guard and in manacles, so he can't earthbend, like he can't move around.
Mhm.
how much movement do you need for mud bending?
Unless you're Boomy, some.
Yeah, that's never
Um,
really made clear. I think it depends on the person. I think some people can do it without it, but it's like a skill you really need to practice.
I believe that.
The rare art of bending without moving.
Yeah, chin bending.
Well, there's also in Korra, the
Tongue bending.
waterbender who doesn't have arms, who
That's true.
can still like waterbend proficiently. I think it's
Oh, yeah.
more about like you have to, however you train, you're most able to do it like that. If you
So-
practice stealing,
with most earthbenders, they need connection to earth in order to earthbend. Like they need to be touching it and centered and grounded, you know.
Yeah.
So I think they've just put him on the second floor of a wooden building, and they've chained him to the bed.
That would do it.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
or the Magneto cage where it's just floating in an empty.
So is he allowed to just, have visitors?
Probably not, but there would definitely be people there that know who you are. Probably one of the people that questioned one of you two is there, like questioning him when you arrive.
I think the person who was supposed to question me is sitting there when we arrive.
There you go.
I approve. I guess we ask if, hey, can I talk to this guy? I just wanted to see a little bit more of his side of things. See why he did what he did.
Is there
Well-
an observation bench? Like somewhere to sit in this room where I can be at the back but still be in the room? While
I mean, it's basically just a small like makeshift hospital room.
Fair enough. There's obviously a seat somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
pull up a chair.
But yeah, the interrogator. Basically, they explained that they haven't had much luck getting him to talk. But they and through discussion with them, you find out that like the interrogator really can't leave until they have something to report, and they've been here for like a day and a half. And
So I don't directly know what I want to say, but I have the gist of it. I'm hoping to. I essentially want to know, who are you reporting to, ideally, and hey, do you think they'll take me on in such a way that the interrogator isn't picking up on that, ideally. I don't think I'm actually good enough to achieve that, but I'm hoping that through some level of, no, I'm seriously trying to help the Fire Nation here, I might get something out of him.
okay, and is that if you were to succeed at this, are you actually going to help the Fire Nation?
Depends on what's interesting for the game, honestly.
Okay.
So you haven't decided.
I was not intentionally intending to.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's a trick or if it's a plead.
More a plead than a trick.
Okay.
I'm not looking to get this information to hand it over to the Earth Kingdom. I am more sincerely actually looking to help the Fire Nation if I can.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I think since you're offering Tian sort of a lifeline here, he will care what you think. So you can try to plead with him.
Okay.
Now, failure here isn't necessarily failure with Tian. It might be failure with the interrogator. Like the interrogator might have problems with this.
I also might fire blast you if you seriously consider invading the
I mean-
Fire Nation in here, just so you get first-hand experience as to what will happen when they arrive, because it will be fire blasts.
I mean, I brought you along so that you could,
Talk me out of
watch
it.
and make sure that I didn't do anything too insane. So,
Tried that.
trust you can hold me back, right? That's how this works.
I don't know if anyone can.
I don't think so.
I think you went to the worst person in the group who would hold you back
Yeah.
from doing anything
mean-
chaotic.
My plan was originally you, but the
Yeah.
story didn't go that way.
All right.
Well,
So
this is going to be beautiful because subterfuge is obviously my thing.
yeah. So I don't know exactly at what point the investigator or the interrogator rather picks up on what you're actually laying down, but they indeed do pick it up. Before it gets to that point, however, Tian is like very receptive of like, yeah, you want to help the Fire Nation? You can get me the hell out of here, and I can get you in. I know people. I'm people that know people. All right.
Yeah, and I want to know who those people are because I don't know if I can get you out, but who are?
The investigator's just right there, like, is this dude really?
I am pretty sure that I'm not saying it that plainly.
It's okay.
But I'm not that.
Yeah, that's the general tenor of the conversation, so we don't have to have two levels of conversation at the same time at the table. But yeah, so that happens, and I think the interrogator comes in right as you're about to tell Tianlo whether or not you can actually do these things, and you just feel a hand on your shoulder and dagger eyes. What are you doing?
Talking with him?
Some could say talking. However, I heard collusion.
Conspiring, perhaps.
I mean,
You know we've been warned to watch for Fire Nation spies within the town. And I think I may have found one.
Yeah, he's in the. Excuse me. We did find the Fire Nation spy. He's in the cage.
I happen to think it's this young man sitting next to the imprisoned one.
You're not wrong. It does seem that way. I can personally assure you, we broke out of Fire Nation prison together.
Ah, so she's been implanted with you from the beginning. Or he.
Maybe so. And I turned to...
Didn't you think it was odd that you managed to escape so easily with a high-profile prisoner?
That's a good
Listen,
point. I turned to
here's
Aeon,
the bus.
siding with the investigator. Are
Yep,
you a
here's the
spy?
bus. There's Aeon going under it.
Are you a spy? I would like to call you out to what are your sides again?
Forgiveness
Like-
and action.
Forgiveness in action.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
probably
want
want
to tell you,
action.
I want to demand you act here and make a firm stance on whether or not you are or are not a Fire Nation spy. I want a demonstration of your loyalty. It could be to whatever side. If you want to demonstrate Fire Nation loyalty, that can be addressed.
More swiftly.
We are already in a prison. We can just put you next door.
Great. Okay, I do like the idea of calling someone out, and I will figure out where I go from there.
Cheapity boop. I rolled a 5, doesn't matter.
Well, you roll with theirs.
Yeah, I know.
So
We're still at 0 because
We're
we
balanced.
restarted. Oh, sorry. I forgot to swap this thing back.
oh, wait, what direction did you shift your balance then, Indigo?
So when you openly shift your balance, so
determination.
Mm,
okay,
makes sense.
on a
Yeah,
hit, the call
I'm
back
gonna
is
move
say,
towards determination if I could ever remember how to use these machines.
On a miss, they, meaning Aeon, can demand you act in accordance with one of your principles instead, mark a condition, or act as they request.
Yep.
"What are your principles?" This is not the direction I expected that to go.
I believe it's patience and determination.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then Indigo. It's So this
I
denotes your
know.
center. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
clicked the wrong one. How did it? I'm struggling.
rolled it.
Alright, choose. Yes, I rolled it instead of. There we go. Now it's correct.
I think this makes sense of move you towards patience.
You wanna move me
I don't
back
want to
towards
make
center?
a declaration. I don't know myself yet.
Don't even know who you're
So-
with.
There's no more shifting. Just so you know, you shift and that stays where it is. It's either mark a condition or act as they request.
What do you want me to do? I called you out to make a stand as to whether or not you were a Fire Nation spy or not.
I want you to deflect so I don't have to answer.
Whether or not, like, yeah. What, you want him to cover for you?
You want me to
I'm
cover for
basically
my
saying
own
I-
question?
Yes, I do.
You want me to say if you're a Fire Nation spy?
I'm
I'm just being very
going to go-
clear.
I'm going to go along the lines of I wasn't a spy. I am not currently a spy.
Yeah.
There's
I
couple
am
of
not a
those-
spy, even if I might consider a sudden career change.
I am not a spy in the past or the present, but I will not speak on the future.
And basically, I want you to take that and keep this conversation moving on so I don't have to actually firm up the future.
All right. Now I
At
would
least
like
not in front of
to.
this investigator.
Yes.
In-
Now I would
Yeah.
like to trick the investigator into believing that Aeon is not a spy.
Okay, that was a quick 180 there.
I'm specifically tricking the investigator because I do not believe it at this point.
Yeah.
There's
We're
been
gonna
too
deal with
much.
this separately from this investigator.
This is going to be an internal investigation.
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
Now it is tricking
ahead.
an NPC because I am also now unsure as to whether or not you're a spy because you just asked, "What's your
Help
boss's
me.
number?" To the guy in jail. I need to get on his team.
I mean, look, we owe the guy. I spent a lot of time beating
we
on him.
owe the guy who tried to kill you?
It was a fight.
He literally tried to drown us in mud. Literally, that's what he tried to do.
Yeah, not.
Listen, times are tough. People lose their cool.
Alright, but
You
yeah, if you're
know,
if you're tricking,
potato.
roll with creativity. We'll see how that works.
You are so
Maybe
lucky
both
to
of you are
bring
going to
Bao.
jail.
Big
9.
success.
Whew.
All right, so pick
Oh,
one
you
of
can
the
help to
3
make that a 10.
options.
Wait,
You
I
can help.
after?
Yeah, mark fatigue and yeah, after is when you help.
Yep, in this game.
Mm.
I am so not used to that, but making that a 10 sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay. So yeah, mark a fatigue and it's a 10, and you can pick 2 of the options for trick.
I picked 2 of the
Yeah,
options
Dama.
for
Sorry.
trick.
Yeah.
They stumble. I get +1 on acting against them in the future.
Okay.
More realistically, instead of the drastic 180, I don't give Aeon time to respond to the question. I just fast talk my way through the whole explanation, justifying that Aeon's not a spy after the commercial cliffhanger of the call-out question.
Yes.
It rolls back to Dama fast talking through any possible answer from Aeon, being like, just going into more examples of, I say you stole a bunch of Fire Nation technology, you can no longer hide that. I point out the Fire Nation taser on your belt or all of the other things you have stolen from the
I've
Fire
been
Nation.
spending the last week training to better defeat the Fire Nation
And the
learn new
flamethrower that's like loosely shoved in your pants pockets or something.
I mean, it's no longer a flamethrower, but point taken.
Your super soaker. Your modified
It is now
flamethrower
it's a
turned
super
super soaker.
Well, what spy would be equipped with a super soaker?
Is this a weapon of subterfuge? No, it's dripping on the floor as we speak.
Not very subtle.
Well, I wouldn't have done that if we were going to talk to a waterbender.
All right. So yeah, you got +1 forward against them. What was the other one?
Oh, they stumble and I guess they act foolishly. I don't want to answer their questions either, so foolishly seems important.
Okay.
Foolishly, as in, let us get out.
Yeah, I think the foolish thing that they do and the opportunity that they're giving you is like the interrogator trusts Dama now, which is weird. Fire Nation, whatever, but trust Dama more than Aeon, and like
I'm dressed like
trust
a fire...
you to take Aeon to the appropriate place to be questioned further.
Yeah.
And Dama knows exactly where that is, which is
Yeah.
Baohu's place.
Yeah, so I think after that, we go outside, and then before we fade to black and move to the next scene, not like fade to black on the episode, but move to the next scene, it's just Dama, who has a fan, because those are popular in the show, just whacking you on the head with
Why are you?
Don't try to align with the prisoners. They're in jail.
I mean, you once were too. We all were. Anyhow.
Yeah, and you didn't see the guards try to make friends with us and know what our boss is so they could call them up for a job.
I mean, I was trying. Anyhow. That is precisely what I was trying to do in prison.
But
But
it
you're
was
from-
flipped.
Yeah, but it was the other way around. It doesn't work both ways. The power dynamics are off.
All right. Fade to black.
Yeah.
I think we're now at Baohu's house.
Oh, you just took Aeon straight to where Baohu is.
Well, we're all staying in the same general place. Like we
Yeah,
head back
that's
to
true.
our standard meeting place for this period of time.
Yeah, that is an interesting question. Where are you all staying? Like, Bao, I assume your family lives here. Are you staying with them?
If Bao still has a house, then yeah. If not, I think he's just staying with the aunt.
Yeah, you could be all at Min's place. That's fair.
Does she have a porch?
I think Min had a porch because it
Yeah,
was
Min
to-
does. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, what's
Waterbender
season is
Halloween.
it?
Queen was there in the background having a hushed conversation with her aunt, but that's going to be in the background.
Yeah. If it's a warm enough season, Dama's literally staying on Min's porch. I have set up a hammock or something on her porch that I'm staying
Yeah.
on. It
We're also
feels
on the
weird to
coast.
intrude on their home
Hmm.
for that long, so porch is fine. That's where.
Are there
that
seasons
was
in
why-
Avatar?
Yeah.
I feel like
One
there
can
needs to be.
assume so, but also we technically haven't seen it.
Because there's
No,
also
I
the
haven't.
solstice.
Solstice
They have
is-
the
yeah,
summer
that's
and the
fine.
winter.
Solstice,
winter
yeah, but we don't
solstice.
know if like
We've never
there's
seen
a
it
significant
snow,
They
really.
axis
travel-
tilt.
It's only
they
snowed
travel
in.
so much.
They travel
Yeah.
so
We
much.
never
That's
know.
how we see things.
Yeah, they go to different biomes. That's the only reason
But
you
we
see
never
weather.
see winter anywhere except in the mountains or poles.
True.
Either way, I'm still assuming there's no seasons. I'm on her porch because that doesn't feel like intruding. But staying on a guest bed for a week or however long we're there feels intrusive, so I'm not doing that.
Assuming that Min's place is bigger than Baohu's, I'll
Yes,
intrude and borrow
100%.
guest room.
If
Mhm.
Baohu's parents still have a place here, it's like
Bahu's
Just-
place would literally be a hole in. That's what it would probably be.
well, I just mean based on like the other not rich earthbender dwellings we've seen, they
It's-
have usually 1, maybe 3 rooms, and there's like 10 people in there.
Yeah, lots of density with the number of people. Of course, a lot of the. It's
A
not
lot of that
usually
for the
terrible.
original
That's what Ba
series
Sing
was-
say.
Yeah, a lot of that for the original series was because you're out in the farmland where people have been actively suffering during the war.
Yeah, or Ba
So-
Sing say. So it might be not as bad as that, but still still more crowded than Min.
Yeah, but I think they don't have that many rooms, and the whole family who's in town lives in that house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense culturally too for there to be an extended family living in the house. Yeah.
True.
So are we actually just showing up at Min's, as that's where most of us are? and
Yeah, I
just
think
Sounds
so.
like it. Yeah.
Mhm.
What are the other two of you plotting and planning or doing as these two come back?
I was gonna do battle strategy and possibly get enough alcohol away from
From
Sato.
Sato to make it like, hey, I understand you like the booze because you did a genocide, but can we get off the booze so we don't get genocided, please?
Yeah, I think with the turn of events, Sato is still very red-eyed, possibly a little jaundiced, but the most sober you've ever seen him. Not that that's saying much.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he stopped drinking. Spirits.
He's yeah. Sorry.
Light beer only.
No Peter.
Quiwa, as I said, is having a conversation where Min is trying to get her to talk to her dad, and Quiwa's just like, no, I know he'd know I was in jail. I still don't want to talk to him, is what she's basically saying right now.
Yeah, and I think Min is she's trying not to overstep because she knows what it is to be a teenage girl in this town. And a noble one at that. But there is definitely an undertone of the family cannot be split right now or we will all die.
Yeah, I think she has issues with my dad, but she's putting them aside right now, and I am not.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah,
the most
she's
insight.
definitely a wartime consigliere, right? Like she'd shove the problems aside. We need to fix this.
Yeah. And Quiwa is right now just like, again, it's sort of a conversation in the background. It's like one of those very, very, very poor attempt at having a private conversation that everyone can overhear and is pretending not to.
Oh yeah, it's a private conversation on the porch that we are all also sitting on. It's just that Dama, Baohu, and Sato are crowded around a crudely drawn map with little pebbles marking things around it, and Aeon's probably pouting. I don't want to speak for him, but hopefully pouting.
I'm debating
All right, so-
brooding, but yes.
So, Bao, what does the conversation with Sato look like as you're trying to rally the drunkard to your cause?
It's because stuff that's down here we know about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I'm basically trying to draw on his principle of experience to be like, lead us through this. Like, you are a wise old man. We need you in this fight because you're also a firebender who fought with the Fire Nation. You know what they're gonna do.
Okay. So sounds like you're calling them out.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably the easiest thing. Oh,
So yeah,
my
shift your balance, name their principal, and roll with their principal.
I mean, it probably makes sense that I'm trusting him to like get us through this, so I'm probably shifting toward trust.
Okay.
Anything else, I'd be too gamey. And then roll with their principal. Okay. Yay, an 8.
Nate. Okay. 7 and 9, they challenge your view of the world in turn. Mark 1 fatigue, or they shift your balance as they choose.
All right, shift my balance, homie. I'm not marking fatigue right now.
Not even going to figure out what they're asking you to do yet.
Nope. Because it's either you push me more toward trust, or you push me back toward self-reliance.
Trying to think of what Sato would how he would feel in this situation. And I think the conversation does actually go something like we the Earth Nation rolls over too easily. You will not be able to count on them. If this is to be done, this is to be done by those that lead, those that trust only in themselves. So yeah, he's going to shift you back towards self-reliance.
Yeah. That's what I was
Is
hoping he would
everyone
do.
currently at 0?
No, I got shifted because of my training.
Oh, right.
And this shift is regardless of center, so they can shift any way they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you are successful in that. Sato realizes the situation that you all are in, and he also realizes that if he leaves, the odds of him running across the Fire Nation and not surviving are pretty good. So yeah, I think this is the point where Sato will commit himself to helping and not passing out in the back.
General Sato, finally. See episode 4. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. So I think the next scene we see Sato in, he's like taking a shower.
Yep.
He shaved.
Yeah.
No, he didn't
Trimmed.
shave. No,
Clean
not yet.
trimmed.
That's asking too
Trim.
much.
Yeah, it looks a little less ruffled and combs
He
the
maybe
twigs
ran
out of
his-
it.
He maybe ran his fingers through his hair.
That works. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like 20 minutes or so later, Sato comes back like wearing his armor. It's like it's cleaned up. He's combed his beard and pulled his hair back into
And
a
he's found the hair
ponytail.
tie.
Yep.
Does it still have the name scratched on into it?
Yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of basically it would look like Japanese kanji, I think, because I'm not familiar with Avatar script. But yeah, it's Fire Nation stuff scribbled across it in white.
Perfect. And with that new reveal, I think we're good to go for a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back in a few minutes with part 2 of episode 4. Thank you for watching.